I want to start off by congratulating Flora on their victory and wish them luck in the championship game. I'm really proud of my team. These guys made history. They're the best basketball team in the history of Auburn basketball. They gave us a ride that won't ever be forgotten. And they did so many great things both on and off the court that I'm extremely proud of. Played beautiful basketball in the first half. We were prepared. We had a great game plan. They executed really well. We only turned the ball over twice. Second half, Florida's effort and energy. The fact that we're not as deep as what we normally are was a factor. And I thought fatigue was a factor. As a result, we weren't able to maintain control of the game, which I think if we had taken care of the basketball a little bit, not turned it over and given those so many easy ones, we could have been in position to win the basketball game.
We'll take some questions now for Dylan, Denver, and Janai. First one is third row to the right.
KJ Doyle, KRGV, this is for Janai. It looked like you and Charles Barkley were able to share a moment as you were leaving the court. Just what did he share with you in that moment, and what's he meant to you as a supporter of this program?
He just, thanked me for what I've done for Auburn. Told me to keep my head high. Just coming from a guy like who submitted himself in Auburn history means a lot.
Next question's up front on the left side.
Aaron Bracey from Hoops HQ. Denver, what made guarding Walter such a challenge? What was he doing out there that was tough for you guys tonight?
Honestly, just, do a lot of dribbling handoffs. Just a lot of actions just run through him. Just constant moving. I feel like that's just what gave him some of the looks that he had tonight. With just a lot of handoffs, a lot of drives. So that's what it was.
Continuing with questions for the student athletes from Auburn, center of the room.
Dylan, you've been here 5 years. You've been through the COVID year. You've been through some really incredible ups. As you look back on your career at Auburn, and you're kind of like the glue, the spiritual leader of this team, walking away from this right now, what are some of the memories that you feel like, I know it's tough right now with going through a loss, but that you've learned from being in this program?
Yeah, first and foremost, all glory to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Without him, I wouldn't be here. And it's bittersweet to end it this way, knowing that we left the national championship on the table. But, being at Auburn has been the best 5 years of my life, and I couldn't have chosen a greater university to have loved me back and, just watch me grow up from 18 to 23. And I am the man I am because God let me come to Auburn. And, man, the thing I'll take away most is just being an Auburn man, but just being a teammate, being a player for Bruce Pearl, but also being in the locker room. We're the best locker room in the country. I love these guys, and I cherish every single moment, every single memory we made. And that's my prayer the whole year, just Lord, to prolong our season. We just had so many great memories on and off the court. This is the funniest team I've ever been on, but the most loving and caring and thoughtful team I've ever been on. And I'll forever remember this team, and I hope we can stay in touch for the rest of our lives.
Continuing with questions for the players from Auburn, same part of the room, same microphone.
Justin Ferguson, Auburn Observer. Denver, second half, did they do anything differently defensively to give y'all some issues? Like, what do you think the change was there?
Honestly, I just feel like we probably just fell to fatigue a little bit. Turned the ball over. We had a lot of careless turnovers that in the first half we really didn't have. And I feel like that's what probably just gave them that extra spark. To take the lead.
If you have a question for the student athletes, please raise your hand. We have two. We'll do Lane first, and then we'll come back across the aisle.
Lane Higgins from the Wall Street Journal. Janai, this is for you. I know coming into this game, you said that your ankle felt totally fine. In the second half, it looked like it was kind of getting to you a bit, and you were limping a bit. Can you kind of walk us through, what you were playing through and kind of, the heart that took to push through that?
My ankle was fine.
Across the aisle with another question.
Jim Vertuno of the Associated Press for Janai. I'd ask you the same question about the elbow. That was a question coming in. It looked at times like maybe it was bothering you, but you seem to still be able to do just about everything. Also, second part is what did they do defensively to deny you shots in the second half?
I mean, my elbow felt fine going into the game. Obviously, I mean, here and there it would bother me a little bit, but I mean, nothing that I couldn't play with. You know, I feel like we got the looks that we wanted to get. I wasn't able to capitalize and finish them.
If you have a question for the Auburn student athletes, please raise your hand. With no more questions, we want to thank Dylan, Denver, and Janai for joining us here in the main interview room. Congrats on a great season, fellas. They're going to head back to the Auburn locker room. It remains open. I'll let you know the official time when we have one. Either way is good. Thank you.
All right, guys. All right, baby. Love you. Love you, too.
Thank you. First question for Coach Pearl. We're going up front to the right.
Coach, you guys had a hell of a run here to the Final Four. Michael Gittins, World War. You said fatigue was a factor for your team coming in. Just the grind of the NCAA tournament, or was anything in the routine that stood out?
We got down to 7 guys, and that's not enough. You know, we just did not have enough help off the bench. And, you know, I think to take a little heat off of Janai, we scored great in the first half with our 2-point baskets. We went through him, and he did great. And I don't know whether we got away from it a little bit, but we only had a handful of 2-point baskets in the second half. So I'll give Florida credit defensively for stepping up. But I just think that, you know, passing and catching and fighting for your real estate, getting your spots, not letting them push you out of position. And I think that's why we didn't execute.
In the center of the room, Coach?
Coach Daryl Dapperts with Auburn Daily. You know, Clayton Jr. is a phenomenal player. He hit some shots that were contested, falling back, some threes that you guys got out on him defensively, but there were some times he got to the rim real easy and really got to the with layups. Talk about the defensive maybe breakdowns on that and what happened that allowed him to get to the rim so easy.
Well, he's a great player, and you know, he can go both ways. He can make tough shots. About the only thing that, again, I probably should have done more would be trap the ball out of his hands a little bit. Believe it or not, that was part of our game plan, but we just didn't execute it. You know, like just sort of, I guess sort of you say all things are kind of equal, and you know, Clayton was the difference. I mean, he was just flat out the difference because we couldn't contain him down that end. But again, I take responsibility for 12 turnovers in the second half. It's just impossible to either explain or to think that you can win, turn the ball over a little bit. We got a little out of sorts offensively, and guys just did not execute offensively what our game plan was like they did in the first half.
Coach, center in the second row.
Adi Joseph, CBS Sports. You mentioned the depth when you did your opening statement that Florida has. Obviously, you know, Janai got what he wanted in the first half. Did you kind of anticipate their depth and their size and their defensive acumen coming into play in the second half? Did you expect a different sort of look from Florida?
Yeah, we knew they'd come out aggressively, but I was hoping that our starters would be able to withstand. I did not call timeout in the first 4 minutes. I was trying to get to the TV timeout. We got to it. You know, obviously those starters, my top 5 players, all seniors. And, you know, I just think that, again, we came out offensively and we didn't run some of the things that we had talked about running the way we talked about running them. And so just 12 turnovers, bad execution, bad decision-making, bad passing, catching. Took a lot of shots that we did not want to take.
To the right of the aisle. In the fourth row.
Justin Ferguson, Auburn Observer. Bruce, I was going to ask you about the shot selection. It felt like you guys had some good looks that didn't go down. Did you feel like that kind of faded in the second half and y'all took tougher looks? Or how'd you feel about the shot selection?
We just did not execute offensively in the second half. We just didn't. I give Florida credit for their defense, but there were certain things, certain reads, certain looks that we made in the first half and chose to not make them in the second half.
Coach up front to the right.
Michael Giddens, War for Auburn. Coach, can you talk a little bit about Miles Kelly? He had kind of a tough run through the last few games, especially from three. He's such a great shooter, but it seemed like he was unable to find a rhythm here in the last few games for you.
Well, I mean, they did a great job of extending his catches, and they recognize what a dangerous shooter, Miles is, and so, not banging down some of those shots. He got a couple in the first half, and again, felt like we had a really nice. We scored 48 points in the first half, right? 46. We just had a great rhythm, and we got everything we wanted, but we had to work for it. And I just thought we stopped working offensively the way they're coached.
Final question for Coach Pearl, all the way in the back on the right side.
Bruce, JoeGoodmanAO.com. What do you say to Tahad after tonight's game?
Well, I haven't talked to him yet. He's been sensational all season long, and I know that he's going to be disappointed because he wasn't elite tonight like he's always been. Give again Florida credit. There's real size in their backcourt and real size in their front court, and again, if he had a better coach, he'd have got him cleaner looks, and he would have had a few more open shots, and that probably would have helped him, play a little better. But if there are 5 of the top freshmen in college basketball this year, Tahad Pettiford is absolutely one of them. And I'm so incredibly proud of him. And I know his teammates are. I trust him.